He lost everything: his job, his home, his family, his sense of identity, and what he found in the ashes wasn't comfort or hope, but a brutal Stoic truth: you are owed nothing. Not love, not security, not fairness. Life doesn't care about what you think you deserve, and once you finally see that, you begin to see everything. Subscribe if you're ready to confront the parts of yourself most people run from. Because here's the reality you've secretly sensed but never dared to face. Most of your suffering doesn't come from what happens. It comes from what you expected to happen. You thought the world owed you stability because you worked hard. You believed people should treat you with loyalty because you gave them your trust. You assumed things would go a certain way because you did everything right. That was the first lie. And Epictetus warned you. He said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." You've been clinging to expectations like a man drowning in his own mind, mistaking your preferences for guarantees. But when he lost everything, the illusions burned away. That's when he discovered the raw, unfiltered power of a more fatty love of fate. Not passive acceptance, but alignment with reality so fierce that even misfortune becomes fuel. He stopped asking, "Why me?" and started demanding of himself, "What will I do with this?" And here's the first warning most ignore. Your attachment to control is the real source of your weakness. You've tried to manage outcomes, people, reputation, status, but none of that is within your command. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. But you don't want that strength. Not really, because it requires sacrifice. The sacrifice of blame, of self-pity, of fantasy. So ask yourself now, if everything you value was stripped away, what would remain of you? That question haunted him until he faced it head-on. And he saw the truth Stoics have whispered for centuries. Character is the only true possession. Everything else is on loan from fortune, and fortune always collects. When the storm came, he lost every external, but he gained an internal empire. He learned to train his judgments like a blade, cut through illusion, and live as if every moment was borrowed, which it is. You think you have time, but you don't. You scroll and escape and delay as if your soul can be put on pause. But death is near. It always is. Seneca said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." You live like life owes you more years, but it doesn't even owe you tomorrow. And that brings us to the second hidden insight. Freedom begins the moment you stop bargaining with reality. You've been negotiating terms. If I just succeed at this, then I'll be happy. If I just fix that, then I'll be enough. But reality isn't interested in your terms. It only respects one thing: your response. Viktor Frankl, echoing Stoic resilience, discovered in a Nazi concentration camp that every freedom can be taken, except the freedom to choose your attitude. And that's what this man discovered in his ruin. He stopped resisting. He started responding. He turned pain into discipline. He turned solitude into clarity. And in silence, where most people collapse, he built a fortress within. That's the third Stoic truth buried beneath distraction. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your compass. Every time you run from discomfort, you drift further from who you're supposed to become. The Stoics sought discomfort, not to suffer, but to sharpen. Cold showers, minimal possessions, voluntary hardship. Not because it's trendy, but because if you cannot withstand discomfort, you are already someone else's servant. The moment things go wrong, you'll bend, beg, and betray your own values just to feel safe again. But the Stoic stands firm, not because he's unfeeling, but because he has trained himself to need less, fear less, and expect less. That is the fourth revelation, and it's a warning. You are secretly addicted to comfort. And comfort is the silent enemy of growth. You say you want to be resilient, but you coddle yourself with justifications. You excuse weakness as self-care and hide from purpose behind the mask of busyness. But you are not here to coast. You are here to become. And that process demands pain. It demands failure. It demands loss. You will lose friends, opportunities, money, time, and maybe more. And when you do, you'll be tempted to sink into bitterness. But if you remember this fifth Stoic insight, you'll rise instead. What happens to you happens for you. Not in a spiritual, magical way. In a practical, brutal, essential way. Every event is raw material. Marcus Aurelius called it the fire that turns everything it touches into flame. The obstacle isn't just in the way, it is the way. But only if you decide to use it. Most never do. Most people waste their pain. They try to numb it, avoid it, erase it. But the Stoic transforms it. That's what this man did. He didn't rebuild the life he lost. He built something better, because this time it was rooted in inner strength, not outer illusion. He became someone no longer shaken by outcomes, no longer desperate for applause, no longer afraid of tomorrow. And you can do the same, but not by accident. You must decide, right now, whether you will be a slave to emotion or a student of it. Whether you will chase what's easy or pursue what's meaningful. Whether you will escape reality or embrace it with open arms. This is your warning and your challenge. Everything you love can be taken from you. But if you master your mind, no one can ever take you. That's the Stoic truth he found in his darkest hour. And now it's yours, if you're ready to carry it. Subscribe if you're done begging for comfort and ready to build the kind of strength that survives any storm.